Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and this video is brought to you by the online B-Ball Breakdown membership. Click the first link in the description below to learn more and join.
Good.
When the U.S. went up by 5 with 2 minutes left against Turkey, it felt like we'd have another notch in the Americans' belt. But that was before a complete defensive breakdown by the U.S. gave the game right back to Turkey, who had it in the palm of their hands for exactly 39 minutes, 59 seconds, and 9/10 of a second. The U.S. had defensive issues all game, so let's look at some from earlier to explain how this game was so close at the end. Korkmaz suckers Middleton into thinking he's going around the screen before cutting backdoor for a wide open layup and one. On this pin down, what should be a simple switch catches Donovan Mitchell continuing with the cutter, leaving Ilyasova wide open for the layup. In transition, more poor communication and effort, as normally you'd expect the shooter to begin getting back, but Barnes is just posing for the picture. Kemba doesn't recognize that Ilyasova has leaked out, and it's an easy layup. Even worse effort in communication, as there's a lot of pointing for people to pick up players, but Osman begins pushing the ball to the middle. Turner is forced to step over, and there wasn't enough sprinting earlier to get to this Korkmaz look from the corner. For the U.S., they were getting their buckets by utilizing their individual talent to break down the initial defense, as Jaylen Brown does here, narrowly avoiding an offensive foul, before kicking it out for great ball movement for the open three for Harris. When Turkey tried a full court press, the U.S. diced it up nicely, cutting Harris through the middle to drag the defender out of there, then hitting Brown, who sucks in the defense before the nice movement gets another good look from the outside. And more evidence of how overwhelming Kemba Walker can be with the ball in his hands. The crossover on the big man's hedge leaves him an open lane, and when the help comes, a gorgeous double pump off-foot lefty layup. Now let's get to the end to see just what Turkey did to get back into the game. Out of a horn set, they run a pick and roll twist, and on the second ball screen, Kemba contests this beautifully, but Scottie Wilbekin is just too good on this shot, cutting the lead to 2. Turkey played a matchup zone, which means they align in a 2-3 formation, but you'll see the defenders get outside of their traditional areas from time to time, or follow a cutter all the way through to be replaced by a different defender. The U.S. struggled to get organized against it, and here, Tatum is curling as Harris is passing it to him, and it's almost a turnover. The defensive guard stays with the cutter through the lane, and now Osman at the weak side forward bumps up to be the guard. Turkey's new forward on the right side erroneously stays with Harris underneath. Osman is left guarding 2 players, while Ilyasova is wandering around out there, and Kemba gets a great look but can't hit it. On this inside ball screen for Ilyasova, Erden gets physical with Tatum. Tatum holds him instead of sinking into position, and Ilyasova gets a free run to the rim for a layup and tie game. An inside ball screen works great against a 2-3 zone, but only if it's set at the wing when you've shifted the zone over. Kemba must have recognized this and reverses it to Mitchell, so Middleton can now set the screen properly from the right spot on the floor. You can see that as soon as the pick and roll happens, the defense flips to a man-to-man, completely confusing Mitchell. And someone will have to explain why Tatum sees the screen in the left wing, yet cuts through the lane right in front of the action. Had he stayed in the corner, he probably gets the open 3. Instead, his man Ilyasova is brought right to the help. There is nowhere to pass. He leaps into the air problematically and throws it away. Can you hear me shaking my head? The defense by the Americans here is fantastic, stymieing Wilbekin on the pick and roll and forcing Cedi Osman to isolate against Tatum and burping up a tough shot. But at the beginning of this play, what seemed to be a harmless pick and roll set by Ilyasova looms large as it forced the switch. Now that Harris is on him, when the shot goes up by Cedi later on in the possession, he's got a big height advantage and just out-hustles Harris for the tip-in and a 2-point lead for Turkey. Now, the Americans are in real trouble with only 12 seconds left. But they run a nice little pin down on the right side that catches Ilyasova a step behind the play for the Middleton open jumper for the lead. One problem with the zone is that it gives up offensive rebounds, and Mitchell out-athleticizes Osman for the ball. But the clock is ticking and USA has to find a shot. Nice challenge by the defense to force Tatum to put it on the ground and disrupt the catch-and-shoot rhythm. Now, just get a hand up, hope it misses, and Turkey takes home the game. But Osman takes a terrible angle, crashes into Tatum as the buzzer sounds, and gives him 3 free throws for the win. Let's look at the replay, however, because there is some controversy. First off, Tatum kicks out his right leg to draw contact. Then, you'll notice the contact comes after the buzzer. However, the rules state that if the shot is off in time, which it was barely, the foul must be called if he hasn't landed yet, no matter if the clock expires. That said, the officials felt like there was 0.1 seconds left on the clock, and all Tatum needs to do is hit 3 free throws and the US escapes. Sure enough, Tatum chokes the second free throw, and we're heading to overtime. In case you missed it, I dropped an incredible video with Corey Maggette and Coutinho Mobley where we got on the court and broke down their favorite offensive actions. You've gotta check it out. In the extra frame, Team USA does a nice job to switch this pin down to keep Ilyasova out of the lane and force the reset. But when Kemba reaches for the ball, it gets him out of position, allowing the inside ball screen to be used. He's now stuck trailing, and even though this is a hell of a contest, Wilbekin is too good on the floater. The US patiently runs their offense until Tatum takes off for the rim but gets completely stripped. Luckily, the ball goes right to Barnes, and in the mad scramble to get back in position, Joe Harris gets the wide open spot up on the left wing to splash. Turkey runs a beauty of a set as the ball screener continues his path into a pin down for Osman. Tatum takes a poor route under the screen and gives up a wide open 3-ball. Here's where it felt like Turkey had this game in their hands again. The US wants to go down low to Tatum, but it gets congested on his spin move and he panic passes this ball out of bounds. Tatum again comes down and attacks Osman in semi-transition with a Euro step, but he blows the layup, and we get another bad defensive transition possession from the Americans. 4 defenders are ahead of the ball to start. It's Turner's job to guard the ball, and Kemba is supposed to pick up Mahmoudalou on the wing. Instead, he runs to the ball as well. In a perfect world, Barnes would have seen this and gotten over there, but none of that happens, and they give up a wide open 3 for a 5-point Turkish lead. Now can you hear me shaking my head? One thing you won't hear me shaking my head about is getting tickets to any sporting event, concert, or the theater with SeatGeek. They scour the internet for the absolute best prices and rate them according to the kind of deal you're getting. Just like Turkey kept dropping shots over Team USA's defense, SeatGeek drops the price by $20 on your first purchase when you use my code BBALL. So download the SeatGeek app now, and within a few taps, you'll have the best seats in the house to help the US figure out exactly how to attack Turkey's matchup zone, something they never quite figured out how to do. And other teams facing them should take note and use it. For example, passing to the wing with a strong side corner unfilled allows an easy double team that doesn't hurt the defense. And the alignment of players was off. Tatum should be in the strong side corner, and Turner should be on the weak side looking for the easy lob. If they flash Barnes to the nail, he is either open or could make a quick pass down low for a dunk. They're left setting a screen and letting Kemba overwhelm the big man on the switch, and just look at his ability to stop on a dime. It's breathtaking, really, and this is like a practice shot for him. Down 2 this time, Kemba again targets Turkey's big man in the pick and roll by starting Miles Turner at the free throw line, guaranteeing that Sonley has to be involved. On the switch, the defense converts to man-to-man, and Kemba does his dance before pulling up and tying the game. Turkey tries to run Spain pick and roll. As you can see, Mahmoudalou is back screening the ball screener, but Kemba does a good job to pressure this and blow up the action. It does create a mismatch as Ilyasova tries to back him down. Fantastic play by Tatum to wait till Ilyasova's back was turned and just strip the ball from him. He gets right to the basket in transition and then requires quite the friendly roll to get the deuce and the lead for USA. Turkey can play the pick and roll game too, and the Sonley screen is simply not legal. But it forces a switch, and Osman takes the slower-footed Turner right to the hole, absorbs the contact, and gets the and one. Down 1 with under a minute to go, a score here is vital for the US. So they run pick and roll for Kemba, right? Nope. A pin down for Harris curling to his left, doing the least effective thing he can do, attack off the dribble with his offhand. He can't finish, but there's Miles Turner to tip it in easy. Until Donovan Mitchell foolishly grabs the rim and collapses it down. The only way in FIBA's rule that you can actually goaltend a shot. This negates the basket and maintains Turkey's precarious lead, and now they're in a 2-for-1 situation. Turkey turns again to Scottie Wilbekin in the pick and roll, and the US switch this and smother it. This will be very important in a moment. Because Kemba is now down low defending Ilyasova, it puts him in a perfect position to step in and take the charge on the ISO drive. What Wilbekin needed to do was throw a one-handed bounce pass right off the dribble, instead of taking his 1-2 and lifting into the air. Kemba takes the charge, and it's a turnover for Turkey. Down one, there's real pressure on Team USA with under 15 seconds left. So of course, they'll go to their leading scorer at this point, the hot hand Kemba Walker. Right? Instead, they send Walker to the corner, an easy denial for their zone defense, and run a play for Miles Turner. Wait, what? That's right, they leave Turner on an island with the ball and expect him to dribble it 15 feet into a handoff to Kemba. Why he doesn't pitch it here, I have no idea. And of course, it gets knocked away into a turnover, and Joe Harris has to stop the clock. But in FIBA, when you take a foul like this by putting your arm around the player's waist as he's getting rid of it, it's an unsportsmanlike foul, 2 free throws, and the ball back. A colossal mistake by someone who's probably not that familiar with the rules. In what has to be the most heartbreaking ending to a FIBA qualifying game, BBALLBREAKDOWN completely chokes both free throws. But the US still has to foul to stop the clock, and NBA player Cedi Osman steps to the line to guarantee them no less than a tie at the end of this overtime. But his rhythm looks way off to me as he misses the first one, overbending his knees to begin with, then requiring a second bend which throws his upper body movement way out of sync, and the ball caroms off the back rim. He does the same thing again with his legs, and it's the exact same miss. The US has to rush down the court. Turkey is in poor position considering they were shooting the free throws, and are forced to foul Middleton on the layup. Of course, he nails the 2 free throws, and Turkey huddles up to try and salvage the final 2 seconds. All they get is a contested long jumper over Marcus Smart, and that goes down as one of the craziest double endings to a game we've seen in FIBA, and reaffirms my feelings that Team USA is going to really struggle to win gold. Without question, other teams will look at the matchup zone, and they know they can take advantage of defensive breakdowns to keep up with the US's scoring. Team USA got by on their good looks today, but if they're not careful, it could get real ugly real fast. Sports fans, Coach Nick again, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I've got a new online basketball membership where I share with you the best of what NBA teams are doing to help you be more successful on the court. Click the first link in the description or the pinned comment below to learn more. And don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know how you feel about today's video. Check your settings to make sure you get notified each time we drop a new one. After all, at BBALLBREAKDOWN, we're not a channel, we're a conversation. You in?